Good morning, welcome to breakfast this morning with Naga Munchetty and Charlie State.
Our headlines today.
Good morning, it's Thursday the 11th of March. Our top story this morning, police investigating the disappearance of Sarah Everard in South London have found human remains in woods in Kent.
The 33-year-old has been missing since last week. A serving police officer is being questioned on suspicion of her kidnap and murder. Aruna Iyengar has more.
The head of a UK press body has resigned over the statement he issued following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's comments about racism in the media. So on breakfast yesterday, we bid farewell to Chinua, an 8-year-old black rhino who was preparing to embark on a 4,000-mile journey from North Yorkshire to Tanzania.
She's on her way now. Lakshmi Gopal has been following the first leg of what's going to be an epic voyage. Take a look.
So time now is 6:09. Let's catch up with the weather. Say good morning to Matt for the first time today. Hello there, Matt.
Morning, Matt.
Good morning, both of you.
Active, the way I sleep. Do you know, because I learnt a phrase this week from your colleague, Simon, explosive cyclogenesis. That's what's behind all of this.
Almost just, yes.
6:11 is the time. It's been an incredibly tough 12 months for the high street. Some big names going bust, and we've seen stores closing up and down the country.
So John Lewis will give an update on how they're doing a little later on this morning, and maybe Nina in amongst.
Simon, thanks very much.
Time now is 6:23. A boy who suffered life-changing burns in a caravan fire that killed his younger brother is attempting to scale the height of Everest at home.
Harley's family was told to prepare for the worst after the fire, but since then he's made a remarkable recovery, and now he wants to raise money for the charity that helped him get back on his feet. Should warn you, Tomas Morgan's report does contain some images which you may find upsetting.
Great smile, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I tell you what, there's a couple of things in that. Is you think it's a testament to the spirit of a young man who's doing an amazing thing. The whole family's doing an amazing thing, but also to the work that those experts did in the hospital in Bristol. It's quite remarkable.
It was shocking seeing him, wasn't it? And then seeing him start to walk and then smile in hospital and recover from that.
It's worth saying a little bit later on, 8:10 this morning, we'll find out a little bit more about what they've achieved there and about what their family's doing. That's coming up at 8:10 this morning.
First, though, wherever you are in the country, find out what's happening with the news, travel and weather. See you soon.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Naga Munchetty and Charlie State.
Good morning. On the programme, do you remember Chinua?
Time now is 6:42. As Mike was just saying, Liverpool has progressed in the Champions League, but a year ago today, they exited the competition following a now infamous home clash against Atletico Madrid.
The game took place in front of a packed stadium, including 3,000 fans from Madrid, then the epicentre of the coronavirus pandemic.
Our reporter Mairead Smith has been to meet a family who believe the loss of a loved one was a direct result of going to that match.
That's what makes it all the more poignant when Mary says you just remember the things that you would have been celebrating with someone you've lost.
Yeah, really interesting hearing the reflections of some of those who so sadly lost loved ones, but also those who were involved at the time around those celebrations and their reflections now as to why the event went ahead.
Later on, we are going to be talking to an epidemiologist and just taking a look at how the pandemic has progressed, and from what we didn't know then to obviously what we know now, and how the virus has changed, of course, all of our lives.
At 6:48, time for us to have a chat with Matt, and I can report firsthand, Matt, this is weather information for you. It's really horrible. It's really, really horrible this morning up here.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah, it's blowing. It's kind of blowing a gale, and it's tipping with rain, and it's all kicking off. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Naga Munchetty and Charlie State.
Our headlines today.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 14th of January. Our main story this morning. Some single-use plastics will be banned in England from October.
Takeaways, restaurants and cafes will have to stop using plastic cutlery, plates and bowls as part of a new plan by the government to tackle plastic pollution. Sean Dilley has more.
Labour is calling on ministers to ban the forced installation of prepayment meters on financially stretched households until the spring.
The intervention comes after Citizens Advice warned more than 3 million people across Britain ran out of credit on their prepayment meters last year because they couldn't afford to top them up. Martin Newman has more. Time now is 10 minutes past 6. Matt is going to keep us up to date with the weather throughout the morning. Good morning, Matt. Now, look, we were talking a lot yesterday about those flood warnings, weren't we? And I know there's a big change coming later in the week, but I think you're going to focus just on the next, 48 hours, see what's happening.
Thanks, Matt. See you later.
See you there.
13 minutes past 6 is the time. Now, the government will publish new guidance for the housing sector this summer following a rapid review ordered into the health impacts of damp and mould in homes.
It comes after a coroner's report into the death of 2-year-old Awab Ishaq, who passed away in 2020 from a respiratory condition caused by exposure to mould, called for action to prevent further fatalities.
Now, there are many concerns that children are still living in similar conditions to Awab. Emma Glasby has this report from Leeds.
Time now is 16 minutes past 6 Saturday morning. Let's take a look this morning for you at some of the front pages. And we were...
I'm not going to fat shame a seal, but that is effectively... Morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Morning. How you doing? Interesting that you decided to pick up on that.
What's the story?
Mr. Blobby, right? But now, so it's eaten like £3,000 worth of fish. So this story kind of has been spoken about this week. But what the Times is focusing on is on the seal's weight. And apparently, unsurprisingly, it's doubled in size from doubled in size after eating £3,000 worth of this fish. And they still can't get hold of the seal. They still can't capture the seal.
That's right, no, and they need to get him out because the fish will...
Tried to go down, they had a bucket full of sprats, little fish, to tempt him, and then literally the seal just came up with a fish in its mouth and just went, nah, I'm sorted, and just carried on going. Yeah, got better fish to eat.
Of course, yeah, he wants a sprat.
But so it's getting big, but that's, I mean, the children like him. The children go and visit him and see him.
Yeah.
It's very lovely.
Why not?
Absolutely.
But yeah, he's grown.
We've had a walrus in Scarborough. Great night for Aston Villa, beating Leeds. So Villa are now on level on points with Chelsea in the Premier League. But he says it's the best performance of the season, but they lost. Because they found Villa rather good at the back, and the World Cup winning goalkeeper Martinez in amazing form. Different goals at this competition. England hoping to this time go beyond the semi-finals. The last 3 World Cups they've been to the semi-finals, whereas Wales, they want to set down a marker for the future and try and raise the profile of the game to try and get more professional players.
All good experience.
Yes, indeed.
You were talking about it yesterday, though, weren't you? Describing the team as you just did, you know, kind of what it's made up of and the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Just to be there, and they're playing India as...
They're playing Spain next, and they're...
Being there, it's just going to be... The attention's going to be
It's one of the big sports in India, indeed, as well. I wonder how many fish the seal's eaten during that sports bulletin, then. Do you know?
I reckon...
Have we got seal cam?
3. We should. That would be great. Can you imagine?
Even heavier.
Mike, thanks very much.
Time now is 6:25. Story this morning we're going to be spending a bit of time thinking about because of changes in the law which are planned. It's cheap and convenient, but now disposable plastic, and the way we get rid of it is a huge problem across the UK.
Needs to be tackled. So a ban on some single-use plastics will come into force in England from October. John Maguire has been taking a look at its impact on the environment.